Imagine pulling off the greatest military heist in ancient history, but forgetting to actually bring the getaway car. Hannibal Barca completely destroyed the Roman army, yet he left the biggest prize completely untouched. After marching elephants over the freezing Alps, you'd think he'd want to finish the job. He spent 15 years dominating the Italian countryside like it was his own personal backyard. His phone notifications were literally just constant alerts of him winning every single battle. He checked off destroy Rome's allies from his master to-do list with absolute perfection. But when it came to actually knocking on Rome's front door, he suddenly got cold feet. His calculations showed that attacking a walled superpower without a proper siege engine was a terrible idea. He was working against a ticking clock, waiting for reinforcements that were never going to arrive. Turns out, Rome wasn't just a city. It was an incredibly stubborn defense system that refused to quit. Back home in Carthage, the politicians were way too cheap to send him any actual financial backup. So Hannibal was left fighting a massive global superpower with a comically underfunded army. He was essentially typing up furious unread emails to his government, asking where his budget went. His generals were literally screaming at him, "Hannibal, you know how to win but not how to use it." Rome's walls were massive, and Hannibal's army was completely unequipped to break them down. Winning battles is great, but your soldiers still need to eat regular meals to keep fighting. He never read the textbook on how to capture a massive, heavily fortified capital city. He kept gambling on the idea that Rome's closest allies would eventually turn against them. But the Roman alliance system held together perfectly, leaving Hannibal completely out in the cold. His strategic plan was entirely lost, and his metaphorical GPS had absolutely no signal left. He held the keys to victory, but he couldn't find the actual door to enter Rome. He was playing high-stakes chess against a rival who simply refused to flip the board. Instead of attacking, Rome played the ultimate game of avoidance, wasting Hannibal's precious time. They rained down minor inconveniences on his army instead of fighting him head-on again. Every single day he waited outside the gates was another day Rome rebuilt its strength. His official requests for more troops were stamped with a giant, uncaring no by Carthage. The politicians back home were far more worried about their own wallets than winning the war. Hannibal's brilliant strategy was slowly collapsing like a poorly built house of cards. He constantly had to look over his shoulder, wondering when Rome would strike his homeland. His supply lines were completely broken, leaving his legendary army starving and stranded. The Carthaginian Senate acted like a grumpy judge, completely ignoring his desperate pleas. He was left scratching his head, wondering how a master strategist got stuck in a corner. Rome finally cut ties completely by launching a direct counterattack straight at Carthage. Hannibal's world was spinning in circles as he realized he had to abandon Italy entirely. He was practically flashing a giant neon distress signal, but nobody was coming to save him. He sat down to write his legacy, realizing his master plan had one giant fatal blind spot. You can't fix a massive strategic error with a tiny, temporary battlefield solution. In the end, he packed his bags and left the Italian peninsula without ever entering Rome's gates. Hannibal proved that winning the battle means absolutely nothing if you don't know how to finish the war.